This is a mini tutorial about 3D thinking for anyone who wants to improve at creating character design from a basic foundation. You're now watching a speed-up process where I turn a flat circle into a 3D shape by adding curved lines and the center point like a North Pole. Then, I give value shading to show you how the shape had volumes because of shadow and highlight. That simple sphere method is the same when drawing the character's head. Take my example in the video. I did a quick head drawing based on the stretching spheres from regular to exaggerated ones. Next, you'll see how flat squares, cubes, and rounded cubes form each of the simple bunny heads. Then, you can make them complex with the body but still with the same principle of 3D thinking. I added some shadows so you can see the aspect of 3D forms for each character design. That's why 3D thinking is essential for you to understand, and keep practicing until you get the idea. That's it. Keep on practicing when drawing structures of 3D shapes, even for organic and non-organic elements such as tusks, horns, and any other type of dynamic forms. This 2-minute tutorial gives you warm-up information for what we're doing for the following lessons. This video will show you how I created Dragon Empress. Now, let's start with File, then New. You can see my settings there. I renamed my file HCD Dragonia, and the height and width of the document was set into Instagram Real Story Dimension with 300 resolution. I enabled the time-lapse feature over there because I can upload it later for my Instagram tutorial teaser. Okay, now let me begin to draw. My favorite default sub-tool is Design Pencil from the Pencil tab. For Dragonia, I start with a box shape for the head and body. Especially for the head ornaments or details, I create simple features such as a dragon's webbed scale for the winged ears and horns. Because of Clip Studio Paint tutorial rules or guidelines, I can't show you my reference from a web browser here. Moving on to refinement, I used rough pencil and a new layer to trace my draft design of the Dragon Empress. This part will involve creativity and playing around with references from anywhere that you can access throughout the internet. The whole outfit comes from having the Empress look without adding too many details. Since the dragon has pointy scales, I used that feature alone for the robe of Dragonia and her shoulder pads. It's not armor or anything, just a casual Chinese or Japanese style outfit combined for the hybrid themed character design. My first object is the potted plant. Its shape consists of two parts, the leaves and the pot. You can easily break it down into some lines and circles as the basic shape principle. From those shapes, you can make a humanoid form. My imagination suddenly sees the plants can be the shape of something like a hare, and then the rest of it follows as I keep my strokes flowing through randomness. I don't know how it goes at first, then, I think it's more like a rooster. This is why I recommend you break down any objects near you. Surprisingly, it can be unique to its own. I love how it turned out, but let's keep the refinement later. My second object is a tiny perfume bottle. The way I see it, this object can be easily broken down into two parts, the top and the bottom. The bulky part of the object reminds me of the ox form or cow kid. Minotaur is also a hybrid character, but I will keep it simple and cute for a tutorial. I will focus on the head of my cow kid. The expression can be as simple as smiling, and all normal features of a domestic cow or an ox are their bells or other signs. The third object is another medium-sized perfume. It can be broken down into 3 parts. I guess this one should be a bunny hybrid character design, with a robe, sunglasses or anything else that could fit with the design. I just got the idea of making this rabbit character into a cute-looking bunny girl. And it pops into my mind that we should make things simple at first and then add extra lovely details after we get the whole image rendered in our mind. Another one of the perfumes that you see is the tallest. I've got an idea of Anubis, the god of funerary rites, protector of graves, and guide to the underworld, usually depicted as a canine or a man with a canine head. Because the idea is too serious, I switched it to a dog or fox kinda hybrid character instead. Still, with the dog ears inspired by Anubis, I created the fun version of a guardian dog named Sir Douglas. Well, it turned out to be one of the hybrid characters who wields a sword, like in the game or Middle-earth Kingdom. There you go. The hybrid squad is ready for your service. This chapter will show references from my favorite piggy bank and my photo as an inspiration for hybrid character design. If you have any object such as this, it's easy to look around and find its best angle to trace. Let me show you how I use Mi's piggy bank as an inspiration for my character design process. If you're using a photo with drag and drop, you need a new layer for the background. After that, reduce the opacity of your photo so you can trace it easily with another new layer on top of your photo. Design pencil can be a good choice when tracing because of its texture and light-fast sensitivity. Now I'm showing you my other reference, a personal photo that I took as part of the lesson. But before that, let me show you how to see the structure of my drawing even without a tracing. There, you can see how the structures of my drawing look the same as the traced ones because the muscle memory of tracing will gradually make you remember how to make the shapes. Back into my photo as a reference, I created a new sketch based on the same structures from those 2 drawings before. Making a structure first with tracing ones allows your muscle memory to react by keeping everything simple, even if you don't sketch with those 2 spheres and lines of structure now and then. Congratulations! You hack your brain to keep everything simple when sketching, not overcomplicated things to design your hybrid character. In the video, you can see a Chinese zodiac-inspired tiger boy that I made from rough sketch to refinement step. I also created the time-lapse on the Clip Studio Paint written tutorial. Ctrl-Shift-T to transform your sketch into free transform mode. Oftentimes, I use this method to make my drawing more interesting to look at. A fake perspective distortion is a good addition to the whole design. I use the lasso tool to select an area of my tiger's arm, then use transform again to rotate and adjust the arm to fit my need. I continue my sketch to the point it's good enough as a draft before I refine the whole design. Next, with a new layer on top of my draft, I use real pencil to redraw the lines. Please skip this step, as you might have a different setup of your character design. Go to Edit, View, find Grid or Ruler bar settings, then, you can adjust the size of the gap and the number of divisions. Experiment with each setting. How big the gap will be depends on how easily you need to position your character on the canvas. Also, remember to set the start point of your grid for the center. By doing so, you'll get the whole image centered precisely. Once the refinement done, I'll be moving to proceed into another step, inking. It would be best to have a graphic tablet when inking. Using a mapping pen is sensitive to pen pressure, so press it lightly whenever you need to create a clean line. More of my tutorials will be written in Clip Studio Tips. Feel free to check it out for a more complete version with insightful information, resources, and so on. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I hope you can get inspiration for doing digital artwork with Clip Studio Paint.